My dear listener, angels have an important message for you. Angels say that sometimes we feel confused when someone we like moves away or stops talking to us. It can make you wonder, did I do something wrong? But the angels want you to know that it's not your fault. Sometimes people need time to process their feelings, and that's normal. Even when someone seems distant, they still care. They're just trying to understand what's in their heart. And you know what? Angels are always close by, helping you be patient and understand that some things take time to make sense. The angels want you to remember that every time you show affection and love, even when you don't get anything back at the moment, you're planting seeds of love. These seeds will grow in time. So keep being you with your special way, because that's exactly what the world needs. And don't worry, everything done with love comes back to you sooner or later. To claim today's message, press the like button on this video and write 333, now continuing the message. There are times when we meet someone who makes us question many things about ourselves and the relationship we're building. This person may act in unexpected ways, leading us to wonder if we've been misunderstood or if our actions have made a different impression than we intended. It's like we suddenly need to review all our interactions, trying to find clues about what this person really thought or felt. This connection can bring the sense of mystery, as the other person seems to act in ways that don't fit our known patterns. It's like facing a jigsaw puzzle where some pieces are missing. This can be uncomfortable, especially if you like to understand relationships well and be clear about how the other person feels. However, precisely because of this difficulty, the connection takes on a special and profound meaning, challenging the way we see love and human relationships. This experience is like looking into a mirror that reflects parts of ourselves we didn't know before. Often, through uncertainty, we learn more about our own feelings. The person involved may be very different from others you've met, perhaps more reserved or not expressing themselves easily. For this reason, every gesture, word, or silence carries greater weight, leading us to reflect on the true meaning of this person's presence in our lives. Uncertainty can make us oscillate between moments of doubt and understanding. Sometimes we think we grasp what's going on, but the next moment, everything seems confusing again. The angels remind us that these connections are not a mistake but an opportunity for growth. They invite us to look beyond appearances and trust that even when we can't see the path clearly, there is always a greater purpose at play. Silence, however uncomfortable, can be a powerful tool for transformation. When someone with whom we have an important connection moves away or stops communicating, it's common for doubts to arise. We wonder if we did something wrong, if our presence was a nuisance, or if we could have acted differently. This kind of silence, however, shouldn't be seen as rejection but as a necessary pause so both parties can reflect. The angels remind us that in moments of estrangement, something deeper is happening, an opportunity to reconnect with our essence. Silence isn't empty, but offers space for introspection, both for you and the other person. Instead of seeking immediate answers, we're invited to look inward and listen to what our heart has to say. Often, this pause helps us perceive aspects of ourselves we wouldn't notice amid the hustle and bustle of daily life. It can be a moment of personal reunion, a chance to cultivate self-knowledge and redirect our energy toward what really matters. Although silence can initially bring anxiety, it teaches us the importance of trusting in time. Life has its own rhythm and not everything needs to be resolved when we want. When we try to force a connection or answers, we might miss the opportunity to learn from the experience. The angels remind us that true growth happens in the pauses, in the spaces between words, and in moments when there seems to be no clarity. Every moment of silence has a purpose, even if it's not obvious at first glance. Please share this message with 10 family and friends members. Like this video and leave a positive comment. The absence of communication also reveals the kind of connection we're experiencing. When we think of someone, even without talking to them, it indicates that the connection is deeper than we imagined. The energy between two people doesn't fade with distance, it remains present, even in silence. Perhaps the other person is going through a personal process and needs time to understand how they feel. Similarly, this time can be essential for you, helping you organize your thoughts and emotions. In some situations, you might feel like taking action, sending a message, or finding a way to reconnect. However, the angels suggest this is a perfect opportunity to exercise patience and trust. Sometimes the best thing to do is wait and allow the natural flow of things to unfold. Silence is also a form of respect, both for yourself and the other person. It shows that you trust each other's process and journey. Silence can be interpreted in many ways. But one of the most important is that it offers us the chance to renew our energy. When we're not constantly trying to decipher or control the other person's reactions, we can turn our attention inward. It's as if the universe is giving us a break to catch our breath and recharge before moving on. This renewal is essential so that when the time is right, we can meet the other person again with an open heart and a clear mind. It's important to remember that even in silence, the connection is still alive. The other person may be thinking about you even without expressing it. Deep down, they might also be reflecting on this connection and its impact on their life. The angels want you to know you're not alone in this process. Just as you feel this absence, the other person is also on their own journey of self-discovery. Before continuing the message, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please take the opportunity to subscribe because you may never receive our messages again. This helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Continuing the message, over time answers will start to come naturally. Silence isn't the end but a transitional phase. When words return, both you and the other person will be better prepared to understand the true meaning of this connection. Until then, the angels ask you to trust. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Some connections go beyond common understanding because they operate on both physical and spiritual levels. Meeting someone whose energy deeply intertwines with ours can change our perception of ourselves and the world. Sometimes their presence has such an intense impact that it makes us question everything we believe to be stable and familiar. This influence, even if silent, awakens dormant parts of the soul, inviting us to grow in ways we hadn't imagined possible. The angels explain that this kind of connection isn't by chance. It comes to initiate a process of spiritual awakening. This presence doesn't have to be constant to be felt. Even when this person is physically absent, their energy resonates within us. We might find ourselves thinking about them unexpectedly or feeling emotions that seem to come out of nowhere. These connections are much deeper than daily interactions. It's as if both souls had a silent agreement to meet in this life to fulfill a greater purpose. The other person may not be aware of the extent of this impact. They might feel something different but can't put it into words or fully understand it. This makes their actions and reactions sometimes contradictory and hard to decipher. They might get close one day and pull away the next as if trying to cope with the connection's intensity. For those on the other side, this behavior can seem confusing. But it's important to understand that this kind of connection causes deep and unexpected internal changes. The spiritual impact isn't limited to the present moment. It manifests in various ways over time, in dreams and synchronicities. Those little signs that seem like coincidences but carry important messages. You might notice certain numbers or symbols appearing repeatedly or thoughts and feelings about the other person arising just when they're also thinking about you. These signs are ways for the angels to confirm there's a greater purpose in this connection, even when we can't see it clearly. Moreover, this presence acts as a spiritual mirror, revealing aspects of ourselves that need work. Perhaps the other person awakens insecurities or fears you didn't know existed. This doesn't happen by chance but as part of the healing process. The angels remind us that in deep connections, discomfort is a sign we're growing. Every challenge is an opportunity to align with your essence and strengthen your heart. At the same time, the impact you make on that person's life is just as significant. Just as they awaken something in you, your presence changes them in ways you may not know. In other ways, you may not realize. They might never have met someone with energy similar to yours, which baffles them and makes them reflect on their choices and beliefs. This explains why they sometimes react unexpectedly or distance themselves. The connection challenges them to step out of their comfort zone. This kind of connection has the power to change not only the individuals involved but also the environment around them. When two souls meet on such a deep level, they create energy that can influence others and situations. The angels tell us these connections are like beacons of light, radiating vibrations that touch those nearby. Even if the person isn't aware, they've begun a transformation process affecting themselves and everyone they encounter. It's essential to understand that spiritual impact can't be controlled or forced. It happens at the right time and way, according to the divine plan. When we try to rush or manipulate this process, we create resistance and hinder the natural flow of energy. The angels advise that instead of seeking immediate answers, we should trust the universe's wisdom and allow things to unfold at their own pace. If you feel compelled, consider supporting this channel through a super thanks of $20 or $30 to continue receiving these divine messages. And don't forget to subscribe for more angelic insights and guidance. This spiritual journey isn't linear. There will be moments of doubt and uncertainty. Just as there will be moments of clarity and peace, the important thing is to keep your heart open and continue moving forward, even when the path seems hazy. The connection's impact is a gift, even if it sometimes comes disguised as a challenge. Over time, both you and the other person will better understand what this connection means and why it's so important for your growth. Meanwhile, the angels are always by your side, guiding and protecting you at every stage of this process. They ask you to trust and know that everything is happening as it should. Every encounter, silence and emotion are essential parts of a bigger plan. Even when it seems nothing is happening, the spiritual impact continues to operate silently, preparing you both for a new cycle of learning and growth. In deep and transformative connections, obstacles and resistance can arise. These challenges aren't only external, like differences in life circumstances or other people's presence, but also internal, reflecting fears, insecurities and doubts about the connection itself. The angels explain that these resistances aren't a sign that connection shouldn't continue but are part of the growth process. Facing obstacles is an opportunity to develop inner strength and emotional clarity. One common resistance arises when one or both parties can't fully understand the connection's depth. It can be difficult to accept such an intense connection, appearing unexpectedly or challenging lifelong beliefs and patterns. This causes some people to pull away not from lack of interest, but because the connection's intensity forces them to confront parts of themselves they'd rather avoid. They may feel vulnerable and unprepared to deal with the emotional depth the connection requires. External influences can also create unexpected obstacles. Friends, family or past relationships may play significant roles in how a person deals with the connection. They might seek advice or validation from others, complicating their perception of the relationship. The angels remind us that while it's natural to seek guidance, not everyone will understand the spiritual connection's uniqueness. Some may suggest paths based on their experiences, but these suggestions don't always resonate with what's true for the soul undergoing this process. Therefore, it's important for each person involved to discern between external advice and their own intuition. The angels teach us that true wisdom comes from within and that it's often necessary to silence external voices to hear what the heart truly desires. Resistance can be overcome when you both trust what you feel, even if the world around you says otherwise. This trust is essential to keep the connection alive and allow it to blossom at the right time. Another obstacle that can arise is unresolved relationships or past situations. The person may still be emotionally attached to someone or carry wounds from previous experiences. This emotional baggage creates barriers that make it difficult to fully surrender to the new connection. The angels remind us that instead of seeing these difficulties as impediments, we can view them as opportunities for healing. Each obstacle is a chance to release old pain and make room for new experiences. Resistance can also reflect the fear of losing control. Deep connections often place us before the unknown, and we tend to feel more comfortable when we control situations. However, the angels explain that these connections operate on a level beyond logic and control. They ask us to let go and trust life's natural flow. Resisting surrender only prolongs the process, while trusting allows the connection to run its course and fulfill its purpose. Finally, the angels show us that resistance isn't necessarily negative. It's a natural part of the spiritual journey and serves as preparation. Just as a river encounters stones, water doesn't stop flowing. It goes around obstacles until it finds the sea. Similarly, each obstacle in the connection is an opportunity to strengthen the bond and prepare both of you for a deeper level of understanding and love. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your close friends. Stay tuned and continue to believe in the power of love. If you believe in God's plan for you, your support means everything as we journey together towards love. To show your support, consider giving a super thanks of up to $30 if you believe this message will come true. Overcoming resistance requires patience and compassion, both for yourself and the other. Recognize that each person has their own rhythm and that forcing change can have the opposite effect. The angels ask you to be gentle during this process. Sometimes the wisest course is to allow time to do its work, trusting that each step, even if it feels like a delay, is part of a bigger plan. When you both manage to get through these obstacles together, the connection becomes more solid and authentic. It stops being just an emotional experience and becomes a shared spiritual journey. The angels guarantee that, however challenging the journey seems, each obstacle overcomes brings greater clarity, peace and harmony. In the end, what seemed like a barrier reveals itself as a bridge to deeper understanding and truer love. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments. 777. Share your experiences in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like it and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. If you enjoyed this message, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching and click on the next video to receive new message. Thank you for watching.